Chapter 1. This is how you were programmed. By the time we are adults, we have already received the majority of the subconscious programming that shapes our identities. Our identity cradles the person we are and how we show up in the world. None of us consciously choose our identity because we don't choose our programming. The majority of our programming is a direct reflection of the community we grew up around, the experience we've had, and the unconscious generational beliefs that our parents have unknowingly passed along to us. Some programming works for us, some works against us, and some is generally benign. The programming that works against us can be very sneaky because oftentimes it makes us feel bad for no rational reason and can lead to poor decision making that holds us back from achieving our goals. Can you remember a time in your life when you said or did something irrational that sabotaged a relationship or a goal that you had? The rational part of you would have never done that, but the unseen programming beneath the surface created an emotional experience that blinded you from seeing the bigger picture. What's important to remember about our programming is that it's contextual to our own lived experience. The worst thing to ever happen to you is the worst thing to ever happen to you. The resulting subconscious self-limiting programming can have a tremendous effect on you even if you rationally perceive your trauma to be less than someone else's. You can't compare your experience to someone else's because the way you perceive the world is fundamentally different. You have countless subconscious programs all running at the same time, and the truth is that none of the programming is designed to make you fail. It's actually designed to help you survive. Unfortunately, when you're striving toward elite levels of performance, you need to go beyond survival. Your goal is to thrive. That is why you must release yourself from old programming that no longer serves you, so you can replace it with new programming that will align with your new personal goals. Think about it like outgrowing clothes from childhood. The clothes may have fit you as a child, but they're not going to fit you as you continue to grow. Self-limiting subconscious programming. I'm sitting in 10th grade European history class, and Mr. Stewart calls on me for my opinion on the Iliad by Homer. Instantly, my face turns beet red, my heart starts beating out of my chest, and I freeze up like a deer in the headlights. Say something, anything, I think to myself. I start sweating and thinking about how every kid in the class is probably wondering, why is this kid's face so red? I freeze up and draw a complete blank about what the Iliad is even about. I mumble something in response to his question, and he kindly moves on, seeing that I'm obviously suffering and in no way capable of having a coherent conversation. The discussion moves on beyond me, my heart starts to beat slower, and slowly my face goes from red to pink and then back to pale again. Immediately, my mind starts racing about how everyone in the class, mainly the cute girls, probably think I'm a complete weirdo for getting so embarrassed over a simple question. That example is a symptom of poor subconscious programming. A little bit of pressure was applied and my ability to perform went out the window. It had nothing to do with what I knew or didn't know. It had everything to do with my lack of self-worth, stemming from underlying programming that made me think that I wasn't worth shit. To be honest, no one was using the word anxiety at the time, so I didn't even know what the overwhelming feeling was. All I knew was that when pressure crept in, the version of me that performed well in any aspect of my life disappeared and was replaced by an overly anxious version of me that was frozen in fear. In hindsight, I can see that there were two versions of me. The real deep down version of me that was cool and confident when I wasn't under pressure, and a version of me that would freeze up and underperform whenever the pressure was on. What I now know is that I was living with an identity that was not in alignment with who I wanted to be. Our identity is stored beneath the conscious surface in the form of our subconscious programming. That programming is a byproduct of genetic and lived experiences that create the experience of me. For better or worse, we will always do things in alignment of who we believe we are. The identity I had at the beginning of my journey did not allow me to perform under pressure because my subconscious programming was in conflict with my conscious desires. That identity and the corresponding programming stem from life experiences that I had had up until that point, and also core conditioning I had received from my family, friends, and overall cultural upbringing. More on that later. Poor programming presents itself most when we are under pressure, and it leads